are the aspirants.
Carved in blood and bone, my power is undying. Blessed? Cursed? What difference does it make? I walk a path few would dare follow. I am the harbinger of bone.
We are the aspirants.
Carved in blood and bone, my power is undying. Blessed? Cursed? What difference does it make? I walk a path few would dare follow. I am the harbinger of bone.
are the aspirants.
Carved in blood and bone, my power is undying. Blessed? Cursed? What difference does it make? I walk a path few would dare follow. I am the harbinger of bone.
We are the aspirants.
Carved in blood and bone, my power is undying. Blessed? Cursed? What difference does it make? I walk a path few would dare follow. I am the harbinger of bone.
are the aspirants.
Carved in blood and bone, my power is undying. Blessed, cursed? What difference does it make? I walk a path few would dare follow. I am the harbinger of bone.
We are the aspirants.
Carved in blood and bone, my power is undying. Blessed, cursed? What difference does it make? I walk a path few would dare follow. I am the harbinger of bone.
are the aspirants.
Carved in blood and bone, my power is undying. Blessed? Cursed? What difference does it make? I walk a path few would dare follow. I am the harbinger of bone.
We are the aspirants.
Carved in blood and bone, my power is undying. Blessed? Cursed? What difference does it make? I walk a path few would dare follow. I am the harbinger of bone.
are the aspirants.
Carved in blood and bone, my power is undying. Blessed, cursed? What difference does it make? I walk a path few would dare follow. I am the harbinger of bone.
We are the aspirants.
Carved in blood and bone, my power is undying. Blessed, cursed? What difference does it make? I walk a path few would dare follow. I am the harbinger of bone.
are the aspirants.
Carved in blood and bone, my power is undying. Blessed? Cursed? What difference does it make? I walk a path few would dare follow. I am the harbinger of bone.
We are the aspirants.
Carved in blood and bone, my power is undying. Blessed? Cursed? What difference does it make? I walk a path few would dare follow. I am the harbinger of bone.
are the aspirants.
Carved in blood and bone, my power is undying. Blessed? Cursed? What difference does it make? I walk a path few would dare follow. I am the harbinger of bone.
We are the aspirants.
Carved in blood and bone, my power is undying. Blessed? Cursed? What difference does it make? I walk a path few would dare follow. I am the harbinger of bone.
are the aspirants.
Carved in blood and bone, my power is undying. Blessed, cursed? What difference does it make? I walk a path few would dare follow. I am the harbinger of bone.
We are the aspirants.
Carved in blood and bone, my power is undying. Blessed, cursed? What difference does it make? I walk a path few would dare follow. I am the harbinger of bone.
are the aspirants.
Carved in blood and bone, my power is undying. Blessed? Cursed? What difference does it make? I walk a path few would dare follow. I am the harbinger of bone.
We are the aspirants.
Yeah. Okay, we have Valoria Blaze and Five Finger. That is a pretty sus name if you ask me. Like damn, these teams, I've been casting for like what 2 days now, and the names they're coming up with, it's so creative, and it's so uh you know um magnetizing, and you're just flabbergasting names that they're coming up with. But yeah, talking about five fingers, look at that, Fredo. They're already coming up with an Angela first pick right off the bat. So what do you think about the Angela as a first pick here? Yeah. Okay. I mean, if we talk about, Victoria Blaze, they're also coming up with the Xbox pick here. I feel like the Xbox pick is more of a prediction pick here. They have seen the Angela, so they are predicting a utility jungle or a fighter jungle that can, counter. And here comes a Farsa and Alpha pick from the side of Five Fingers. So they are going with the fighter support combo instead of the usual, utility jungle and support. I think this composition might work because the alpha is pretty strong in the early game, has a good jungle clear, and has the potential to snowball also. But yeah, talking about Vortex, right? They have the Alucard and they have that Xborg. So I feel like this time around the Xborg will be played into the EXP and the Alucard will most probably be the jungle, right? Yeah.
हेलो इंडिया। आवाज नहीं जा रहा। आवाज नहीं जा रहा। आवाज नहीं जा रहा। दोनों का नहीं जा रहा। दोनों का नहीं जा रहा। चेक कर। हाँ, तू वो तेरे फोन पे लगा के चेक कर क्यों नहीं जा रहा। तेरे फोन पे भी देखते रहे भाई। डबल चेक।
Imagine we're talking and then they can hear us. Yeah, it is going up. Indeed. Oh my god, Fredo. Oh my lord. In this girls tournament, we are seeing a lot of Hanabi. Yesterday, we already saw two Hanabis being picked, and today we are coming up fresh with another Hanabi pick right off the first game. And this is something, which I feel like even in the future, we're going to see a lot because, girls, they love playing Hanabi. They are like obsessed with the Hanabi. So I feel like in the future as well, we are going to see a lot of Hanabi. But yeah, talking about the draft though, I feel like Five Fingers in blue side. On the left side, they have a pretty good draft here because they have picked up the Nathan as well, and the Nathan, performs really well against marksmen like Hanabi because he deals magic damage, can definitely outshine her in the laning phase. And considering the fact that they have an Angela, and Angela can always be a lifesaver anywhere around the map, so this is what is the Angela is actually what they have to look out for, because if you're, even if you're like killing on a 1v1, and then suddenly the Angel outs you, it's game over. So you really have to watch out for her ult cooldown, because the ult cooldown on the Angela, it's so short, it is actually absurd. I mean, talking about the draft coming up from the side of uh, from the side of Five Finger, I'll see that they have a very solid draft here, because the Phobius can be such a good front line, combined with the Alpha, and the heal and shield that will come up from Angela will be really good as well. But then I also really love the fact that Valoria, they're going up with a glue, and glue can actually overwhelm the Phobius in the laning phase. So this is something which you know it's just about the execution, because if you take a look here, their roamer is actually glue, and the glue, I feel like it's not that good of a roamer. But then again, you can somehow still make it work, because the glue is always going to be in the front, and you can always use the grab, to grab onto the enemies and latch on them, and prevent the enemies from hitting the target.
Smash them! All troops deployed!
Yep. I mean, talking about the glue is gonna be really good in the early game, but then, oh my gosh, just look at that! A flicker just being forced out of that Angela right off, such an early phase of the game. But then again, look at the Jujin being such a menace with the Lantern Flare, actually overwhelming the Farsa, in the level 2 stage, where, she has the upper hand against the Farsa. Yep. And Fredo, talking about the game here, if we take a look at the game, we can see that Valoria is on the blue and Five Fingers on the red. It should actually be the opposite, right? Because Five Finger should be on the blue, and Valoria should be on the red. So this is a small mistake from our end, and the viewers are getting confused. We are really, really sorry about this. But yeah, look at that, Fredo. Oh my god, look at the Alpha. Just goes in with the fear of Alpha right in and picks up a first blood on the glue.
Blue team hero has been slain!
Uh, I feel like, he can actually go for it, but this time around with the turtle spawning right up, I feel like they're just gonna wait and try to contest the turtle there.
Red team has slain the turtle! Blue team hero has been slain!
Oh, really? Oh, he couldn't. She couldn't get a kill on the Alpha, despite latching onto that Alpha. The teammates, they're just really good. They know that they shouldn't hit the glue when it's latched onto your teammate. I wish my random teammates would have that much IQ to do, but never mind. But yeah, look at the map so far. Look at the game. I feel like Valoria here, they are on the better lead, because they have 2 kills and they have the goal advantage as well. But then again, talking about Five Fingers discount. I feel like late game they can easily win this because they have the Nathan, and the Nathan scales so well in the late game. And I feel like there's nobody that can kill the Nathan in the late game because just a win of nature is going to be enough to counter all these foam members from the side of Valoria. But then again, look at that glue going in again with the grab.
Hero has been slain.
Oh, a Fed airstrike being popped by the Farsa, but then again not able to poke enough damage onto the Hanabi, and the Hanabi will be back into safety. And it seems like this time around, Valoria, they're doing really good with the glue because the glue is being such a good roamer this time around. And he's just creating so much space for the Hanabi to move around and deal damage as well. But yeah, if we take a look at the bot side, it seems like the Xbox there, Shirozuma, is just taking advantage of the lead that they have right now, and going off on that gold plate for that extra goal as well.
Red team has slain the turtle.
Oh, the Angela almost stringing the illusion, but then again, not. Oh my god, another toss. But who is it gonna be? Oh my god, look at that, Fredo. There's just so much blood going on around the map. The Alpha, the Spear of Alpha goes in, but the Fusion goes back into safety, pops out the flicker, and makes it out of that danger zone. But then again, there was a 1v1 on the bot side, and Xborg literally obliterated the poor Phobius. I feel like the Phobius against the Xborg, it's not a really good choice. I don't know why they pick that because the Xborg is better when it comes to 1v1 against the Phobius because the Xborg does not have any dash, so that is a bit of a disadvantage when dealing with the Phobius because if there's no dash, the Phobius cannot really utilize the Infernal Pursuit as well as his passive. But yeah, just Fredo. If we talk about the game so far, I feel like Valoria, they're doing so well, and they're also like on the such a high lead right now. Just 5 minutes into the game, they have already built up almost a 4K 3K goal lead actually. And look at that, the entropy from the Nathan beam popped out to get into safety, and Aegis as well. Oh my god, just so much is being popped out there. And look at the Hanabi with the Higanbana traps the Nathan and then deals absolute absurd damage. And there goes the Fusion as well,
Turret has been
just trying to poke down all the. Oh my god, Fredo, look at that. Yeah, okay. It seems like there's some issue from our end, Fredo not being able to cast with me for a while. So it's just gonna be
blue
me.
team turret has
And
been
I feel like since I'm casting alone, I'm gonna make it a chill casting and not shout too much because I do have a lot of games ahead which I have to cast as well. So yeah, we can see that this time around, Five Fingers, they are going for the turtle there, but then again, the Alpha secures it beautifully and is going back into safety. He uses the Spear of Alpha to get into safety. Crimson Beacon being popped there, and it seems like they're just gonna be backing off for now because they can't really get any casualty out of that fight. So yeah, it seems like the camera is a bit stuck, so we are just glazing at the Hanabi from the above. But yeah, I feel like Valeria, they're doing an absolutely great job with the draft that they have, despite having the Hanabi and the Alucard on their side. They are still being able to snowball because of the fusion, the glue, and especially the Xborg because there's just a huge gap in the EXP as well, where the Phobius is not being able to, provide rotation for the team, just has to rush back to his lane to defend, whilst the Xbox beautifully clears the lane and then provide rotation for the team as well. But yeah, if we take a look at the map here, we can see that there are a lot of turrets that have been taken down from the side of Five Finger Discount. They are on a disadvantage because there is just too many turrets that have been taken down. 2 turrets from the top, 1 from the mid as well as the bot. So there is a lot of neutral objective that Valeria they have been focusing on, as well as the turtle here. But if we take a look at Nathan, we can see that Nathan is on a 0-1-0-1-1 KDA, which is not bad for Nathan in the early game, because you have to scale for the late game, and in the late game it's where you're gonna shine once you have the feather of heaven, the Starlium side, and the main core item of Nathan, which is the holy crystal. Unless and until the Nathan does not get his hand on the holy crystal, he is not going to be able to shine. So this time around, they just have to wait for the Nathan to farm up and get those items, because in team fight I am sure that the Nathan will be obliterating any member from the side of Five Finger. But yeah, if we take a look at there, just look at the Angela being such a man, always with the ultimate popping up. But then again, look at the Fed airstrike being popped right out there, but not able to take down anyone. Just enough poke to make them back off and not commit to any fight. But also the fact that this time around, Valeria they have taken down the Lord. I feel like with this Lord they can definitely take down a lot of turrets. I don't feel like this time around they can end the game, because there are still 5 people standing from the side of Five Finger, so they will have to look for the neutral objective instead. You let the Lord march down the top and just focus on taking down more inhibitor and mid-tier turret. But then again, look at the Zhuzhen and that glue providing so much menace on the jungle, not allowing them to even roam their own jungle here. Oh, the Lord is already going in, marching on to the turret, but then again gets taken down instantly. And that is that is a lot down from the side of Valeria, because this Lord, it's still an early game Lord, it's not that strong. The HP is quite low, but then again, look at the Alucard there being caught up amidst chaos, and then oh my lord, the Phobius with the Infernal Pursuit will be dealing a lot of damage as well. The Zhuzhen goes in with Crimson Beacon, Lantern Flare, stacking one after the other and then tossing them around. But then again, look at the Alpha going on absolute massacre on the Hanabi. The Hanabi as well, without any dashes, without any spell, gets taken down. The Phobius on the other hand on a killing spree, another kill onto that Phobius. It seems like this time around the Phobius is actually shining, because the Angela with the Wishing Lantern, with the Flask of Oasis, is providing a lot of heal and support. And look at the X-Borg has to use out the last insanity just to get into safety. What is going on? Five Fingers discount, they have totally turned the table of the game. They have made a comeback, and they're clapping back at Valeria Blades here. It seems like the heroes from the side of Valeria Blades, they're actually suffering against the Nathan, the Angela, and the Phobius, because this time around we can definitely see the Phobius and the Nathan coming along. But yeah, if you take a look at the map, we can see that there is still a lot of turrets standing from both sides. 3 turrets are still standing. Look at the glue, goes in, tries to latch onto someone, but then again unable to stack right on time. The Zhuzhen as well overcommits and gets punished for that. Look at this, one by one, each and every member from the side of Valeria gets taken down. On the other hand, Hanabi on the bot lane trying to split push to create a diversion. So, they will come after her and they won't push the inhibitor from the mid instead. And just with that clever move, the Hanabi, distracts the members from the side of Five Finger and not letting them push the mid, and, just making them go for the Lord instead. Wow, a beautiful Lord, uncontested Lord secured by the side of Five Finger discount. I feel like this time around, Sugar, Ayano, and Hello Kitty, they are doing such a good job for the team, because there's so much DPS and there's also so much sustain from the Phobius alongside the Angela. So they're creating a lot of space for the Nathan to shine this time around. And if we take a look at the itemization, I really hope that they show us the itemization, because I would love to see what builds these heroes they are on. This time around it's already late game, so I'm just curious about what kind of build you might see on the Nathan, because last time I do remember clearly that the Nathan with the Wind Talker, the concentrated energy, a very interesting build, which was very different from the usual build. But then again, look at the Lord on the mid side marching down towards that mid inhibitor. Oh my god, the Alpha goes in with the Spear of Alpha, he secures kill on the blue. The Xbox with the last insanity goes in, tries to get a kill, unable to dish any damage, and there goes another kill on the Alpha, a double kill, a beautiful double combined with the Angela. There's just no way you're gonna take down another Spear of Alpha, and that is gonna be triple absolute massacre from part of me, and that is gonna be a beautiful maniac. This could be the end of the game. This could be the comeback. This is it. They have made the most epic comeback so far. 5-finger discount. They have managed to turn the tide of the game from such a huge disadvantage in the early phase to coming up with a beautiful massacre at the end. Oh my god. If Fredo was here, he would absolutely be flabbergasted, because this is not what we expected. The tide of the game totally shifted towards the mid game, where, the Nathan, he got his core items, as well as the Phobius and that Angela. Wow, we can definitely see the result in the screen. And wow, all the members from the side of Valeria, they are they are actually on the uh they're actually on the silver, and look at 5-finger discount, all of them with a beautiful goal. All of them, they have such beautiful KDA despite having such a huge disadvantage in the early game there. Look at the Hanabi. I feel really bad for the Hanabi. Couldn't really work out against the Nathan, of course, because the Nathan, it is definitely gonna overwhelm the Hanabi. So the Hanabi was not really a wise choice here. But then again, I am so wonderstruck. Like, how did 5-finger discounting we were able to make this comeback? Because they were on such a big disadvantage. But then again, they managed to just turn the tables, bring the biggest Uno reverse with the Angela and the Phobius, where they had secured 3 kills on their own, these two. And that point around, everything changed. But yeah, it's just gonna be me and Fredo on the screen. Of course, Fredo is having a lot of issues from his end, so he won't be able to cast with me, but it's just gonna be me for now. But yeah, guys, this was the match between 5-finger discount and Valoria. So it is definitely, the 5-finger discount who won the game, as you have seen in the result. And yeah, it's just gonna be it for now. We will be back after a short break. We will be bringing in the next team, which I am highly sure of. Um it's gonna be between Esta Leviva and Big Black Barbecue. So these are the teams which we have already witnessed their gameplay, and we are quite familiar with them as well. So they will be the one coming up next, and we're just gonna see how they're gonna go and play up against each other. Because yesterday we had witnessed Esta Leviva struggling a and BBQ just having the same thing as well. But yeah, it's just gonna be a short break, and we will be bringing these teams right up.
Carved in blood and bone, my power is undying. Blessed? Cursed? What difference does it make? I walk a path few would dare follow. I am the harbinger of bone.
are the aspirants.
Carved in blood and bone, my power is undying. Blessed, cursed? What difference does it make? I walk a path few would dare follow. I am the harbinger of bone.
We are the aspirants.
Carved in blood and bone, my power is undying. Blessed, cursed? What difference does it make? I walk a path few would dare follow. I am the harbinger of bone.
are the aspirants.
Carved in blood and bone, my power is undying. Blessed? Cursed? What difference does it make? I walk a path few would dare follow. I am the harbinger of bone.
We are the aspirants.
Carved in blood and bone, my power is undying. Blessed? Cursed? What difference does it make? I walk a path few would dare follow. I am the harbinger of bone.
are the aspirants.
Carved in blood and bone, my power is undying. Blessed, cursed? What difference does it make? I walk a path few would dare follow. I am the harbinger of bone.
All right. I think we are back yet again, ladies and gentlemen, to the Queen's Legacy series. This is presented by none other than War Jump. So now we are here again. This is a second chance for all the teams in the best of one series two elimination round, KO that is. But yeah, this is gonna be the second game that we have so far. So the teams are actually very ready. I think you're gonna be similar with them already because we have a star Esta Leviva onto the blue side and big black barbecues. Yep, it's onto the red side. So I'm gonna be casting together with ones here again. The draft is actually set in once. Look at the bands though.
Yeah, the bans are pretty standard coming up from the side of Esta Leviva. I've noticed one thing with Esta Leviva is that, they
Mm.
always prioritize that bane, and they never leave the bane out of the ban section. So I feel
Ah.
like in the future as well, they're always gonna ban the bane. I feel like they might have a little bit of a PTSD with the bane mage build, so they're like scared of that, so they're banning it away. But on the other hand, if you take a look at Big Black Barbecue, we can see the classic He's and Shindan, and as well as the Angela. So I feel like the bands coming up from the side of Big Black Barbecue is pretty solid as well, and
Mm.
it can be really good to cut off heroes from the side of Estela Viva.
Yeah, that's possibly one of the most important gap you try to fill up through. And I think still Aviva, they understand what their situation is going to be like because they have to take away the Iritel. And I think Iritel is one of the most important hero in this season, especially in Queen's Legacy. From since the day we have been starting, Irisel has been already mostly picked, mostly banned. It's always out there, so it's very one of the most important hero, one of the favorites for our divas here right now. But the last ban coming through for the side of barbecues, they have banned away the Nathan, so denying that late game security for the side of Esta La Viva though. But yeah, it's gonna be leaving the CC completely open and it's gonna be grabbed upon by Esta La Viva. So this is not kindly, basically a winning lane onto the XP side unless BBQ they want to pick up the Arlot.
Indeed, I mean, talking about Esta Leviva, they have picked the CC, a really solid EXP laner, where she can deal so much consistent damage whilst being a tanky fighter. It's a huge plus for an EXP. And wow, Debbie, look at that. Look at Big Black
Uh,
Barbecue already coming up with so much magic damage right off the bat. They have picked the Jujin as well as the Kimi. So I feel like, the Kimi
mm,
can be, could be, it could be a jungler
uh-huh.
or a go
Oh,
laner because yesterday we did see a Kimi jungle. So this time around we
ah,
might be seeing the same thing. We never know. But
uh-huh.
yeah, we'll see that later in the draft, like where this Kimi is gonna be placed. And look at this. Look at Esta Leviva coming up with a Hayabusa pick. That is gonna be so good against the Jujin and that Kimi.
Uh-huh. I think this is, oh man, one of my favorite hero for the side of a star Esta Viva. This is one of the best hero to go for against this lineup already bought the pawn by the side of big black barbecues here. Last night I think Engwe was on the Alucard, so I was pretty skeptical about the Alucard, but this time around I'm pretty sure she is ready to rumble with the ninja right now. But mind you, they have a Farsa as well onto the other side, purely a good counter hero to try to go against the Zushin and the Kimi in particular. So it will be actually a winning lane for the side of us Estella Viva. But then again, we'll never know what the setup is going to be like for the side of BBQ. They need to have a rumor, a good setup as well. That's gonna be the Carmela they are prioritizing. So this is all magic already for the side of barbecue. So they have to come up with a physical damage dealing potential into the jungle as well as the XP side. But like you said, if the Kimi is into the jungle, they can actually grab up a physical marksman, but highly unlikely. So what will barbecue removed here though?
Yeah, I mean, Debbie, talking about Big Black Barbecue, it seems like they are going for the comfort pick instead of going
Oh.
for a counter pick. Because if you take a look at the draft, you know, there is not a single hero that can actually counter
Mm.
the Hayabusa. The Kamala, of course, she is a good setup hero. She can, deal she can get a really insane value with her ultimate, the Curse of Blood. But other than that, there is not a hard CC that can actually catch the Hayabusa. So that is going
Uh,
to be a big problem for them because the Fusion as well, she really
oh.
likes crowd control, and
Mm.
she does not deal, constant crowd control. But then again, look at the bans coming up from these two teams already into the second ban of the phase, and it seems like Estella Viva, they are banning away the utility jungle to prevent
Uh-huh.
that early game pressure on the Hayabusa. I feel like this ban coming up from their side is really solid. But then again,
Uh-huh.
look at the bands coming up from Big Black Barbecue as well. The Nathan band, a very, very good band, as well as the
Mhm.
Columbia.
I think they had to remove all these potential combination for the side of Stella Viva. So they bent away the Matilda and the Fredrin. Very understandable. They are trying to nerf down the potential of Barbecue to go for those physical damage in the frontliner as well. Because one thing you're sure about the lineup coming through for Barbecue already is that they are in need of a frontline distractor because they already have the Kimi and the Jushin, and Camila is more of a height and setup kind of hero, not more of a sustain. But yeah, it's gonna be the grandeur picked away by the side of BBQ. So which means that
Mm,
Takumi is definitely
yeah,
going into the jungle. I don't hate it. I don't like it because the Hayabusa is already there. The pressure is always gonna be present. So Kimi
indeed.
jungle, you got to be careful, man. You got to have that active frontliners on your side. So barbecue, they need to pick up a very, very tanky XP laner in combination with the Carmela. But onto the other side, Stella Viva, they picked away the Minotaur. And
Mm.
what should be good here? Gold lane.
Actually, looking at the pick that they have right now, it is a Granger. So,
Uh,
when it comes to females, the goal lane is pretty tight. So they have to go for something like a Brody,
mm.
and here comes the Brody. So Brody is
Okay.
definitely a good pick and a very easy hero to play. So the Brody is gonna be good here. But then again, if the Brody is left far too long to deal with the Ranger,
Uh,
it is going to be facing a lot of trouble as well. And as for the tank, the Mentor, I do kind of like it, but I don't at the same time because
uh,
looking at the brand that they have right now, they have a Granger, they have a Kimmy, and I feel like the Lolita could have been really good in this draft to counterweigh the Dead Sonata, the Rhapsody, and the Kimmy's consistent damage as well. So yeah, but anyway,
uh,
the Minoan Fury combined with the Flicker can be really good to catch them off guard. But then again, look at this. Look at Big Black Barbecue. What are they doing? They are coming up with a Esmeralda. I'm not really sure how this Esme is gonna do because
mm,
talking about the EXP that we have on the side of Esta
yeah.
Leviva, it is a CC. A CC
Mm.
combined with the War Axe will be dealing a lot of damage with the, consistent true damage as well as the sustain. So I feel like this is not really a good counter pick for the CC. Instead, they are going for more comfort picks.
I think you're right there. It's definitely more onto the comfort side because I Esmeralda, huh? It's they already have 3 damage onto the magic side. They needed at least a tanky frontliner, maybe that can literally be the front line, especially not much of a good word to say about that because the Esmeralda, I don't see any kind of potential seal coming in from the side of Esta Leviva. The seal that they have to have is gonna be the Flask of Oasis if the Minotaur builds it up, and that's
Yeah.
always gonna be that's the only option. And they kind of need a winning XP lane when
5
they
seconds
have
till
a
the enemy
marksman into
reaches
the
the
jungle.
battlefield. Smash them!
Nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, let's head
All
into the land
troops
of dawn.
deployed!
This is gonna be our game number 3, best of 1 series, Star Esta La Viva, with a rock
Ooh.
strong pattern. Oh, never mind. That's gonna be them going against a big black barbecues in this best of 1 series. So let's see how the lineup is gonna be looking like because we are definitely gonna be ready to see how they're going to be rumbling in this land of dawn.
Debbie, I feel like, we are already going to come up with a pause very soon because the Kimi, it seems like it is offline. It was not moving for the first 30 seconds of the game until now. So I feel like, the Kimi
uh,
might have a
mm.
little bit of connection issue there. But then again, look at the bot side. It seems like there's already so much pressure that is being built up in the EXP.
Yep, that's going to be a little bit of a taunt coming through from the mid side from Mel onto that first side yet again. Able to clear it out so easily, even against the far side. This is why you want to do the jump with the taunt coming through too. I think this is actually going to be a very slow start unless Esta Viva tries to instigate a fight. But it's not going to be that much because, the rotation are still definitely going to be slow.
I mean, as Televiva, they can definitely snowball again this kind of lineup because they have the Hayabusa already level 4. And look at that, just gonna go in with the quad shadow and will be looking for a kill very soon. Ooh.
First blood!
Oh no, that's gonna be goodness me, Tenza Blue. Tenza no Blue will be taken down very, very early on with the shadow kills coming through from Angry. So comfortable on this hero, I would say. Oh, why did she play the Alika when she's so comfortable on this Hayabusa? I mean, I love watching Hayabusas, but onto the top lane though, it's gonna be Kaede going against Sui this time around. She is, Sui though, if we talk about the laning phase, she definitely have to go out of the lane earlier than Kaede. So they have to be very, very careful of what the Brody is, ganked upon or not.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, also, talking about the game here, we can already see that the first turtle of the game has already spawned. And it seems like
Uh-huh.
they're already instigating a fight in the mid here. Look at the Kimmy, goes in, tries to poke him, but just being zoned out by the CC as well as
Uh-huh.
that. Oh my god, Debbie, look at that.
Oh no, my goodness, angry with the kill onto the turtle, able to grab at that. But onto the backline, there's gonna be a knockup coming through. Sue able to get the double kill onto her hands with the rotations coming in as well. Able to find turtle and 2 kills all across the board. Esta Viva with all the gains 3-0. It's gonna be the score as early as possible. Angry right now does have the shadows, but not the shadow kill, so just gonna have to be careful and have to go back to the farm.
Yeah, I mean, wow, Estela Viva, they are doing really good here, and I feel like this time around Kimmy's network is actually pretty stable because if it was not, there would have definitely been a pause. So, I feel like this time around everything is fair and square. But
Yeah.
yeah, talking about Esta Leviva, they can actually win this game quite easily with the kind of the draft that they have. They have the Hayabusa.
Yep.
Just
Uh,
snowball onto the squishy targets. Go for the Granger, go for the Fusion, and go off for that Kimmy. Just these three targets
yeah.
are enough, and you'll be snowballing so hard that they are not going to be able to catch up with there. But then again, look at the goal lane here. Do you know the roamer from the side of Big Black Barbecue just providing that vision, that protection for the marksman, preventing any gang. But then you look at the knock-up from that Minotaur. Each knock-up, that this Minotaur deals, it's so scary because it's almost like
Oh, never
instant
mind.
fight.
Look at that. That's gonna be the further airstrike being used upon Rosareta. Able to grab that kill onto the background. There's gonna be another one. Kaide able to kill down Rosareta, but there's gonna be the shadow kill being used. Angry grabbing another kill of her own, and that was a good engage. They traded off for one once, but I think it's still in favor of the side of Esta Leviva.
Yeah, indeed. And Esta Leviva, they are on such a good lead right now. If you take at the goal, if you take a look at the goal, they are actually like almost 2K goal ahead compared to that of Big Black Barbecue. And also the fact that the Brody is having such a easy time on the goal lane. He's gonna be snowballing anytime soon as well. And look at that, another turtle being contested, and it's just gonna go easily to the side of Esta Leviva. But then again, look at the Hayabusa again connecting that God Shadow.
Yeah, I think Angry is so comfortable on this assassin that she's on right now, able to land all those and able to steal all the skills. But nevertheless, that's gonna be the feather airstrike being used onto one member. He may have the ways to survive, so there's gonna be two artillery being hit upon him, but it's gonna be enough because the resources gonna be being
Oh, the
farmed
goal
down
lane.
again. But it's Laviva onto the top lane, Angry! Static kill again, able to grab one more kill onto her name, Kaide. Two deaths down, and it's the goal lane we are talking about, but nevertheless onto the bottom side Rosareta will be going against two members, but it's not gonna be enough to take her down because this is a CC with a safe play coming through, but it's gonna be traded onto the top lane turret yet again.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about early in the draft. But then again, look at the
What?
top lane. Oh my God, the Carmilla just gets caught up between four members from the side of Leviva, unable to tank the damage. You really need to play it safe, and you have to be around your team if you want to make a play, because that was not the play that we were looking for, and you definitely pay the price for that.
I think this is also the problem with Carmilla, right? You kind of need to have a frontliner for you to go for the sets. You cannot really instigate a fight if you do not really have your team members onto your vicinity. And I don't think even with the sets that comes through with the Crimson, with the Curse of Blood, I don't think Big Black Barbecue are ready for the damage because the main source of damage have to be onto the hands of the Grandeur, and I don't think she really have the damage source yet because two deaths down in comparison to Sui onto the Brody, three kills already onto her hands, and even bought out the Sky Pizza too. Ah man, it's definitely gonna be them. Oh, never mind. For the airstrike committed upon Vivian, I don't think she will be able to survive, but it's gonna be him
Red team turret has
walking
been
away.
destroyed.
But onto the bottom lane, there's gonna be a solo kill coming through. Wow, Esmeralda, man, not having the greatest time of her life.
Yeah, Esme is definitely not having the greatest time of her life. I don't know why they would go for the Esme, but then look at the beautiful Curse of Blood connecting by Hime, but then again, just enough follow up there.
Yeah, that was actually pretty cool and awesome that she was able to connect onto. The thing is, the Carmilla, you kind of need your backliners to be with you all the time so that you'll be able to get something out of this. Nevertheless, caught in the midst of it all, there's gonna be one man down for the side of Big Black Barbecue. He may think that was not a good call to try to go for those engages when you are completely all alone and unhealthy at that. But on the other hand, Olunia trying to do something, trying to protect her blue buff. Nevertheless, it's gonna be a target with Lumin and Fury. Rosareta able to grab a kill onto Tezano. Not able to survive, and the blue buff will be onto the focus yet again, and it's gonna be stolen 11-1 onto the score once, and all goal lead onto the hands of Star Esta Leviva.
Ooh, Esta Leviva, they're having such easy time, They are just on total domination. And look at that, look at the Curse of Blood. Oh my God, a beautiful Winter Crown coming up from our Minotaur. Green Frog uses it right on time. And oh my god, what
Uh-huh.
is going on? Why is the Minotaur with
Oh,
a wind crown so early in the game? Oh my lord.
angry man. She's really so comfortable on that hero and able to get a solo kill onto
Red team
Kaide
turret
yet
has
again.
been
I think
destroyed.
this is the third time she was
Blue
able to
team's
grab the
turret
kill
has
onto
been
the Granger,
destroyed.
and I don't think she will be able to stack up quite a lot. And the Capriccio is a lot deficit more
Red
than you can
team's
think
turret
of.
has
Hey, a
been
little bit highlight and
destroyed.
Miss Angry. Yeah, you have the spotlight for yourself because you deserve it, man. You deserve it, man. Get those damages out done, and I think it's still gonna be a snowball for Hayabusa already. So whatever she tries to go in and get the shadow kill, it's definitely gonna be a sure kill.
Indeed, and I feel like, even if this time around Angry, she goes for Hime with the tank, she can easily burst her down because this time around she is so snowballed and the items, it's definitely there. So, oh, look at there, look at the Esme getting caught up there into the midst of the chaos. Oh my
Oh,
lord.
Shui! Able to grab the kill with its own prime memory and Resurrect with the yo-yos with the loss it onto Hime yet again. 5 deaths down onto
Red
the
team
Roman for the
turret has
side of
been
BBQ. They
destroyed.
are not having the greatest time of their life because 14 to 1 again. Oh, mid bottom lane though. Shadow landing. One shadow kill. Godlike for Miss Angry onto the Hayabusa. Yep, you gotta get that screen time again, man. Fredo loves her, I think.
Yeah, Miss Angry, what did you have for your dinner today? You are just, you're just cooking big black barbecue instead of them barbecuing you guys. So,
Yeah.
this is, another shadow.
Oh, one more? Oh, that's gonna be the legendary being grabbed with the Suricans by Crimson Beacon, being used by Vianney trying to survive from that feather airstrike, but already a lot of damage already accumulated by the side of Star Esta Leviva, and it's 10k gold lead for Esta Leviva once.
Yeah, oh my gosh, that is just an absurd goal lead that they have. They have almost a
But
11k goal lead this time around. And look at that, the Lord marching down the mid lane. It seems like, Farsa trying to provide a little bit of vision or poke with that wing by wing. And yeah, look at that. I feel like this time around, the Fed airstrike will be popped up from a very safe zone just to zone out so they can't really defend the Lord. But then again, look at the Hayabusa goes in again with Quad Shadow. The
oh,
ultimate being popped out again. But then again, not
Red
unable to
team's
get
base
a
turret
kill.
has been destroyed.
I think there was actually a distributed point with members here, but nevertheless, there's gonna be a knockup coming through. Minion Fury onto the backline. Green Frog trying to get that knock and double kill onto the hands of the first tower right now, trying to go for more. The shadow kill is still out there, but the base is what they're gonna focus on. Wow, Star Esta Leviva giving just one kill onto the hands of the opponent. Rising to the top, they will be able to win this best of one series.
Wow. Oh my god, Debbie. This game, it actually felt so one sided, to be honest, because
Yeah,
there was
true.
no retaliation coming up from the side of Big Black Barbecue tonight. They couldn't perform to their best potential, I'd say, tonight, because there was definitely a difference in the draft,
Mm, yeah,
which definitely changed the entire outcome of the game. Because if we talk about the draft, Debbie, look at the
yeah.
draft. We have the Hayabusa, and
Yep.
look at the side of Big Black Barbecue. Not a single counter for the Hayabusa, as I've said earlier in the drafting phase as well. There is no counter for the Hayabusa that can pin him down and shut him down. There's
Yep.
merely just
Yeah.
a Carmilla that needs time to charge up the stun. So that is definitely not gonna catch the Hayabusa. And as well as the Esme pick. Esme pick against a CC, definitely not a wise choice because the Esme, she cannot really sustain the damage from the CC, especially when a
Uh-huh.
CC it's onto that war axe. The goal, I mean, the true damage is just gonna be way too much. The curtain coil and the yo-yo blitz together is just gonna deal absurd damage, even if you are a tank. CC is a very very good exp that can deal so much damage whilst being tanky, and we did witness that
Mm,
tonight.
absolutely right. And that is how it's gonna be the end of the tournament for the opponent's side. I think Esta Leviva, they are signing through so much that there wasn't any way for the opponents to have a little bit of a comeback, even if they are trying to show it. 10k goalie was already too much to handle, man. I don't think BBQ have the greatest comeback to even, greatest response to even have a comeback. So I think that was it for them. So it's gonna be Esta Leviva moving forward for the next round. Meanwhile, BBQ will not be staying here no more. This is gonna be the end of the legacy, but we still have more games to come before. Before we end. So stay tuned for that. And before we come back for the two new tiers for another best of one series, we're gonna have to take a little bit of a short break.
Indeed.
Carved in blood and bone, my power is undying. Blessed, cursed? What difference does it make? I walk a path few would dare follow. I am the harbinger of bone.
Are the aspirants.
Carved in blood and bone, my power is undying. Blessed, cursed? What difference does it make? I walk a path few would dare follow. I am the harbinger of bone.
Are the aspirants.
blood and bone, my power is undying. Blessed, cursed? What difference does it make? I walk a path few would dare follow. I am the harbinger of bone.
We are the aspirants.
We are back as fast as we have want. Now we are gonna be going for the next round again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Queen's Legacy series presented by none other than War Gems, and we're gonna go for another best of one series. And we have an XM Vixens versus a Pink Lemonade. They weren't able to find the right footing into the first round, but this time around they are up and ready. So let's see what they are gonna be looking like, because you know what, I think they are gonna be truly, truly ready. This is not the draft that we have, but it was just, it is just a reminiscence of what we had seen to the last match. So right now, Pink Lemonade, they're gonna be having the first pick, and NXM Vixen will be having the second pick. So once, look at the bands though.
Yeah, the first ban itself, coming up from the side of Pink Lemonade, it is not. It is gonna be none other than the Lancelot himself, because the Lancelot, it is an absolute menace and a hassle to deal with. Too much mobility, too
Mhm.
much space, and too much sustain at the same time. So picking away the Lancelot is a really good choice. Decision made by Pink Lemonade here. Oh, we are also seeing a Obsidia ban there. So far, I
Oh,
don't think there have been much of a Obsidia pick or bans, but this time around, Pink Lemonade, they do not want to risk it. They do not want to go for. They do not want to go against the Obsidia here. I feel like
yeah.
Obsidia is a really good marksman because she counters assassins so well. Like you can play a Fanny, you can play a Lancelot, you can play Gusion, you can play Ling, whatever. But once she
Mhm.
lands her ultimate on you, you are unable to dash, and she can instantly delete you in the late game. So I feel like they are trying to go for a assassin kind of a lineup where they do not want to deal with her, I guess. But yeah, look at the ban
Yes.
coming up from the side of NXM,
Ooh.
Vixen as well. They are coming up with the CC ban, the Angela, and that Carmilla.
I think I like these bands coming through. The CC has to go because it was such an important hero. Whatever the lanes he's gonna be in, he's definitely gonna be out there into the top list. So you cannot really ban out. We cannot really risk giving away the CC when you're onto the red side. And I think NXM, they do understand what they are doing
Okay.
right now. But first pick for Pink Eliminator, they know that the Bane is a very, very prioritized hero, and it's gonna be picked away. Yet again, it's still, highly likely to go into the gold lane side. No flex whatsoever, but it can still be flexed upon. But the next Sam Vixen going for the cover for is supposed to be the Kagura, man. Unlike boys tournament, for female tournament, you kind of see the Kagura appearing most of the time, and it has been finding
Indeed.
success all over the place.
Indeed. I mean, if you talk about, the difference between the boys and girls, we can definitely see the difference in a lot of
Uh-huh.
aspects. But then again, everyone have their own comfort picks and heroes which they like to play. And girls, they love going for heroes like the Kagura, the Florin. But then again, look at this. Florin is gonna be picked onto his side of Pink Lemonade, which is gonna complement the Bane so well, because I feel like this Bane is definitely going to be thrown into the jungle where he can farm really fast. The jungle clear is really fast in the early game of the Bane, so it's going to be a good semi fighter utility type of a lineup that they have with the Bane compared with that
Mhm.
Poison. But yeah, look at this, look at that, Debbie. Look at the Yuzong and the Iroquois coming up from the side of NXM. This is a pretty solid pick as well.
I think very, very solid too, but it's kind of early to pick out the Yuzong as well. But it's definitely gonna be giving out the protection. I mean the protection and the distraction that's gonna be necessary. But I think Pink Lemon they pick out the Vexena against the Kagura is not really the best choice, but it's also good against the utilities jungle. So maybe they can make it work out. But now that the Xbox is banned, on to the other hand, NXM they banned away the 1-1. They cannot risk giving away the 1-1 even though they have the Irrital to their side. They do not really want to risk. But the jungle band community for the side pink lemonade they removed the Hayabusa. It is a very very good hero. Hayabusa kind of serve well against Bane, mostly assassins in general. So it's definitely gonna be okay. But on the
Yeah,
other hand, though, NXM, what can they remove here? Should they remove a jungle or a gold laner?
I feel like they should definitely go for the for the jungle, or no, not jungle, actually the gold laner, because I have like a very high uh, intuition that this bean is gonna be a jungler, because the kind of the draft they have right now, it's screaming Bane jungle with the Vixana. So
Oh.
yeah, but yeah, I really love the bans that they have done against Pink Lemonade. They have banned away the 1-1, as we already
Okay.
said, a really good pick as well, against the Bane, where she can just dash around and avoid getting caught up by the Bane's attack as well. But yeah, the back is also a really good ban. So I feel like that is a pretty good draft so far that we have right now. But then again, look at Pink Lemonade. They are really, really taking their time to ban away the heroes. Wow, look at that. A Kufra ban coming up from their side. Are they, instigating
Uh-huh.
a a jungle pick here, an assassin jungle? I have a feeling, that they are gonna go for an assassin here. I'm not really sure what it could be. Maybe a Ling, I don't know. But yeah,
Ah.
looking at the Kufra ban, I feel like it is gonna be a very highly mobile assassin if they're gonna go for it.
So even the Zoe is still up for grabs if they want it because it's so good to go against the Aerosol if you play your cards right. But still a 50-50 situation. Now that the Baxia is removed from the side of an exam, it kind of puts them in a position where they had to go for a jungle, the physical jungle. Okay, they wanted the Fredrin, so very understandable. If you pick out the Fredrin, you kind of have to ban out the Basha, and very very important. But right now, for the side of Pink Lemonade, wait, they do still have the Yishushin still available if they want to play the Yishushin. It's still gonna be a very okay pick because now they also have a Bane, but nevertheless, it's gonna be the Alucard into the jungle yet again. Haven't been a
Okay.
fan of Alucard into the jungle, but let's see, let's see how they are able to make it work because NXM Vixen right now they have the last pick, so either they have to pick up the roam, right, a tanky roam or a healer roam.
Okay, Debbie, look at the draft here. The Bane, the Ruby, the Alucard. Wow. I feel like this Bane is going to be a
Life
side
skill.
Bane, definitely, and it's going to
Mm,
be a mage. So they really have to watch out for the Mage Bane, because the Mage Bane, you can basically one shot with your second skill if you have the Holy
yeah.
Crystal and the Sky Piercer in the late game. So that is going to be really, really scary. And I am a big fan of a Bane mage, so I really love playing that in the goal lane or the EXP as well. But then most of the time when I'm
Oh.
playing with Bane, I go for the physical build because it helps him jungle faster. But then again, yeah, Ruby here, I feel like the Ruby could be really good here against the Yuzong. She has the sustain as
Oh.
well and a lot of crowd control. But at the same time, NXM, they have the Matilda, which is going to be providing a lot of mobility with the guiding wind, as well as the support, the heal. and that extra shield from the flask of Oasis as well.
Yeah, that extra seal is completely annoying. But now that they have a healing onto the side of pink lemonade, I think they also wanted the heal for themselves for an XM. Very understandable because the combination of the Fredrin and the Matilda is kind of a cheat code for your ring games as well. And this time around in the tournaments, they do have a very present mage that is the Kagura onto their side, so they might able to make it more into the early phases because the Kagura is so good against the Vexana as well because you cannot really get card control on. So
Five
let's see
seconds
what
till
they're
the
gonna be
enemy
looking like
reaches the
because this time
battlefield.
around another best of one
Smash
series we're
them!
gonna be heading into the land of Dawn, ladies and
All
gentlemen.
troops
Pink
deployed!
Lemonade will be going against NXM Vixen in the Queen's Legacy series presented to you by War Drums, and we're going to be bringing the game as for the casting. That is going to be me, and I'm going to be joined by Wands, of course, as you can see. But yay, the teams, they are completely ready to start to rumble on the land of Dawn.
Yeah, they're just gonna be rumbling their way through the jungle and look for possible ganks. But yeah, I definitely feel like the advantage that they have right now. Compared if we compare these two teams, I'll say that Pink Lemonade, they do have a lot of damage in the early game. They definitely have that Alucard, the Vexana for the early poke burst as well, with the cursed blast and the soul grip. So that is going to be very scary. But then again, talking about the side laners, which is the Ruby and the Bane, I feel like Bane, you're just going to be farming on that gold lane. Once you get your core items, that is where the Bane is going to shine. For now, he's just going to be a sneaky little octopus that's just going to be, hiding around the bushes and then farming in the lane safely. But yeah, talking about the EXP, it seems like, in the early phase of the game, the Ruby is struggling a bit against the Yuzong because the shard residue from the Yuzong in the early game, it just deals way too much damage. So you don't want to fight Yuzong in the early levels, and you want to avoid triggering his passive as much as possible.
Uh, I just I just realized, yeah, I was about to say that the mid laners have the same name, Shayla versus
Taylor,
Sayla. But the thing is,
Michaela.
you know, I think last time I saw Pink Lemonade play, Sayla was playing the carry into the goal side. So I think they are having a little bit of change up into the lineups as well. Not the lineup, but the position for the laning. But now the turtle's gonna be out here. Nilo with the start to the Fredrin trying to get a stacked pawn, but after the backline, so it's gonna be Phoenix not spotted outway. That's gonna be the Deadly Claps being used. Laluruati will be able to grab a kill into the Matilda, but that's gonna be the way Dragon being used upon Sky. Able to grab that turtle, but Phoenix into the backline getting
Okay.
petrified
Slain!
upon. Taken down, and one more into the hands of Offender being used as well. But Shayla onto the backline trying to do something with the Kagura right there, but it's gonna be the rotation coming through from Henny. Trying to chase away all the members, but 1-1 onto the kill board. But the turtle definitely onto the hands of the side of NXM.
Wow, NXM, a beautiful, secure on that turtle, as well as a even trade for the kill. And yeah, just look at the top lane. I feel like, the Yuzong is having such a easy time for now against the Ruby, but then again, later he might struggle. But
Yeah.
talking about the mid laners, it's Shayla versus Shayla. So, who's gonna be Michelle in this game, I do not know.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Marcela.
yeah, Debbie, if we talk about the Kagura, I feel like Kagura is a good pick-off hero here, but then in the late phases of the game, she's gonna struggle to pick up anyone from the side
Uh-huh.
of Lemonade because of the Florin. The Florin is
Yeah.
just gonna heal you with one ultimate right off. She's just gonna be
Mm.
filling up that HP like it's nothing.
True, absolutely right. And Sayla, oh, this is the Vexana time, not the Kagura, will be able to, steal away that cabbage that leaves a wanderer for the hands of Nilo right now. But still gonna be okay because both of the jungles are gonna be into the same level yet again. The Alucard actually doing a really great job in not getting picked off onto the midst of it all. But there's gonna be Sky with the spin trying to get a little bit of a damage coming through, but Eternal Golden onto the Black Dragon, it's not gonna be enough, man. But two resources being burned down to the top lanes, but the bottom lane is what they're gonna focus on. Laruati alongside Phoenix trying to clear out just a little bit, but that's not gonna be any engage coming through. But false KO3 all over the place.
Yeah, all over the place indeed. But yeah, the second turtle of the game is already up, and it seems like Phoenix already, marching their way. Oh, look at that! Look at
Oh, that's gonna be the taunt coming through, and the spins coming in for the Ruby Sailor. The Vexana able to grab 2 kills, Onyx. Oh man, that's gonna be 3 kills down the board for the side of NXM, and it's definitely gonna be a free turtle coming through for Pink Lemonade right now, Henny. Oh, never mind, that's gonna be a steal from Nilos. He's trying to go in with the Fredrin, able to steal it down, but he's able to survive one hit away, but the Deathly Grass out there to blast him,
oh, the
blast her
Kagura
down,
with
but
the
there's gonna be
Yang.
another one. Phoenix trying to go in for more. Kagura, man, that's the sailor. The Kagura sailor, the sailor with the umbrella, able to grab the compensation right now. It wasn't a bit, a jealousness coming through from Phoenix, but still,
Yeah.
I think the rotation is gonna be onto the bottom lane. Sailor, both the sailors are into the vicinity of each other. It's not gonna be an engage, but
Oh
nevertheless,
my
Sailor
God.
might be getting caught
Shayla.
here. Does not have
Has been
anything. One
slain.
hit away. Lalruati will be able to grab the kill with the deadly cat. What is happening all over the place, ones?
Oh my God, there is just so much chaos all around, and there's just a little bit of a overextending from both of their end as well. But yeah,
Yeah,
I really love the Shayla from the side of
Sailor.
NXM. Yep, the
Oh,
Kaguya, the way she baited out the Vixana, the Soldier, the Curse Blast, the Eternal Guard, everything was baited out, nothing hit the Kagura. But then again, the Bane just forces herself, with the flicker and goes for the kill secure. So that was a pretty good, backup from the side of Pink Lemonade as well. But yeah, I really love the way Rawati she's playing on the Bane. She's playing the Bane the way it is meant to be played. She's just playing it safe,
oh.
playing with the poke style, and just farming up in her lane safely.
Yeah, that's what you wanna do on an octopus right now. But Nilo, I think she's trying to be a little bit more aggressive, trying to go in. But Lalurati in a position where she cannot be getting caught. But the damage with the basic attacks coming through from Henny is still out there available. CJ trying to go in with the help. Hey, that's gonna be the Ikyang missed by Miss Sailor. But the bloom is being popped as well onto the backline. Sky trying to go in for more. That's gonna be a stun coming through as well. The Tally Cats and the dragon will be used as well. But the heal is in. Both of the teams are having their healers already and available. But onto the backline, Stilo will be able to grab that turtle. But it's gonna be getting taunted upon the chase. Henny trying to go for a little bit of damage. The Sailor will be able to grab kill Sailor. But it's gonna be a low HP DN falling down. Henny grabbing the kill onto Phoenix as well. All the members of the side of NXM are low. But they got what they came for. 2 kills down. 1 turtle onto their pockets. With just 1 casualty, they can walk away without getting spoiled much.
Wow, that was actually such a good trade,
Wait.
but then again, look at the deadly catch. Oh my lord, look at the circling eagle. Oh,
Whoa. Nah, man, that was actually perfect. Coming out from Lalruati. Nilo trying to go for more, but she doesn't really have the ways to try to taunt them out because of the range that they have right now. So the disengage is gonna be out there.
yeah, oh my gosh, Lal Rawati. Oh my god, you gotta teach me how to play the Bane, because my Bane
Yeah,
is not
please
as
do.
aggressive or as dangerous as your Bane. So, I really gotta learn from your playstyle as well. I really love the way how she's executing Bane. But then
Mhm.
again, we
Blue team
cannot
turret has
deny the
been
fact that
destroyed.
NXM, they got actually retaliated against Pink Lemonade in the previous team fight. That they got the turtle, they got 2 kills with 1 casualty to spare.
Yeah, that was important, but a kill onto the top lane was out there instigated, taken away by Sky. I think, yeah, the Ruby Diane wasn't able to survive also, so that's only gonna be a quite steal of the kill coming through. Lalroati have the vision with a good positioning. There's gonna be the circling eagle being used. The taunt is not gonna be out there. The yin yang being used but not connecting onto anyone. Sky will be able to have a walk away, but there's gonna be the deadly cast being used upon trying to go for the disengage. The blue coming in Shayla in trouble, getting taunted upon the eternal goal. They will not be connecting as well, but the floor is going down. But Henny will be taken down by Shayla yet again. But another taunt, Lalruati still available for the saving onto this turret as well. The heal coming in. She was the one who was ganked upon. But she was the
Oh
one who will be
my.
walking away surviving. But look at these two lanes being munched down from the side of NXM Vixen. Diane got to be careful, but yeah, she's a Ruby, man. She's gonna be okay.
Wow, I really love the way, Pink Lemonade, they're executing the game. And man, I just gotta say that, Larwati, I'm loving the way
Yeah.
she's doing the game because, man, she is just so unkillable. And, the fact that she's going for the mage thing, it is so good. But at the same time, it's so absurd to deal with. But yeah, look at that. Oh my god. The Fredrin. Oh my god.
Hey.
The gets shut down and forces the Fredrin to retreat.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Slowly but surely they did that, but the dragon is gonna be the resources that is wasted just to try to save out. But never mind, going in for more. The deathless crabs is gonna be out there to try to turn him away. The fly, that's gonna be the way that he's gonna be able to survive. But nevertheless, it's gonna be the turn being used. Gets spotted upon. The end will be able to get the kill, but Fionis will be grabbing another kill on her own. Double kill into her hands. The Alucard trying to go rampant onto the side of NXM. They have two members surviving, but they have to walk away. But the Lord is already Pink Lemonade with the turn of events, trying to get all the objective onto their side, being so calculative on the way they are playing.
Oh my god, Pink Lemonade, they are quite calculated, as you've said. But then again, oh my gosh, I just really love the fact that, their macro is so good. Whenever they're engaging in team fights, they're coming out with the best value. Their draft itself is drafted in such a way that, they are going to gain so much, but at the same time, they're just not going to lose anything. Vision Wave being popped out on the Alucard. Oh, look at that.
Oh.
In time gets out of the Appraiser's wrath.
Wow, I think that was so good for Phoenix. He knows that she have the blink to try to survive, able to steal out onto the red buff as well. But they might be actually onto the hunt, trying to go for the blue buff. The Tawny is still out there in the low, absolutely angry, but she did lose out onto the blue buff, so they will not be engaging because the Lord right now is gonna be marching up to the top lane. Pink Lemonade are not in the vicinity just yet. They do have ways to try to take down the turrets into the mid side, but will they be able to do it? Only time will tell, because the turret is actually very, very low. And I think Pink Lemonade, they have to be really, very, very disciplined enough now. They cannot really throw away anything, but next time also trying to clear it out very, very wisely. But that link grab being used. Laruati, that's gonna be the stun coming through as well. Yin Yang reaction, that's gonna be Sayla grabbing a kill onto Laruati. It's gonna be trying to go for more. The Praises right, it's not gonna be enough. Little taken down by Shayla yet again. The base is not cracked open just yet. The inhibitors are still available, but there we go. It's gonna be the bot lane taken down.
Okay, man, that was a really good trade, I say. Laruati, despite getting a shutdown, I feel like it was kind of worth it because they got the inhibitor from the bot. They got so many mid-tier turret, and the pressure that is going to build from the bot lane is going to be so absurd. But then again, look at the curse blast dealing so much
Man.
damage. That is one heck of a damage. Yin Yang overturned, used by Shayla from the side of NXM, but then again, not able to get any value. I feel like this time around, the Kagura is really slacking off when it comes to the pickoff as well as the damage. She's just not being able to get anyone. Even if she does a full combo, the HP is gonna heal right back up because of the floor. But then again, look at Laluati.
Oh my goodness. That's Lalruati with the damage, with the bundles, trying to go for more. The beer is in the hands of Phoenix, able to grab another kill on her own. Sayla onto the run, trying to go for more. It's gonna be Pink Lemonade. They don't have the minions, but they have a 5 member still up and surviving. It's not gonna be them trying to go for more, but they do have the arm of Vendetta onto the grabs. If they try to go for a little bit more, it might be enough, but no. Deadly Cats onto the air, but they have the minions right now. They cannot really go in. The clearance still out there, up and available for the side of NXM Vixen. 3 seconds for Sky to come in. Iota is still out there, but the Lord is what is gonna be spawning, and they're 5 seconds already. And Pink Lemonade, they look like they don't want to go for Lord just yet. They want to go for the chase onto the mid side. Let's go to the mid lane, man, because look at that. It's gonna be a fight already instigated, but the mid tower is still standing very strong without the minions due to the presence. Pink Lemonade, they cannot really take down. I think it's a very perfect timing for them to go for the Lord. I'm offended. Come on, I'm missing out. So one resource is already being burned down. So maybe Pink Lemonade this time. I think they should go for the Lord. You know what? Go for the Lord,
Indeed,
man.
yeah. Oh, deadly catch, another deadly catch. The third gone. Debbie, look at this. They are forcing
Yeah.
into the bait. They do not want to go for the Lord. They do not want to go for the safest side. What if they get a wipe out here?
Hey. That's a flicker being burnt away by CA, trying to go for more. It's gonna be a stun coming through. Nilo with the Princess Red dishing out no amount of damage coming as well. The heal, the blow is still out there. Valkyrie then trying to shut down onto the members, but Fionis will be the one falling down again. The deadly grab will not be able to get anything out there, but it's gonna be the Ruby into the middle of it all, trying to get
Oh
a
my
spin.
lord.
Luati grabbing another kill. It's gonna be the yin yang of a turn. Sailor taking down Sailor. And there we go. 2 members on the side of Pink Lemonade. 1 down for NXM. The Lord is still up and healthy. NXM Vixen, they finally find their right footing in a breathing space.
Oh my god, they definitely got the right footing, but then again, it seems like, they are not going to be able to make much use of this because there are still 3 members standing from the
Hey.
side of Pink Lemonade, and it seems like they are trying to go for the Lord. Are they going to secure it though? I'm quite skeptical. Look at the Yang overthink. Oh my god, Lalruati.
Ruati, man.
What are you
That's
trying
deadly
on,
catch. Whoa, Lalruati stealing onto the Lord yet again. Nilo, what happened to the retribution? Because look at the chase. Rionix trying to go for more with the vision. Does have the damage available. Sky taking very low. Does have the star rush to do, but Lalruati with the damage. Come on, man. That's a star coming in onto your face, taking you down. The bullets are flying through onto the air. Another saga one spit, and that's gonna be the movement coming through for the side of Lalruati. She does have the damage in. The base is completely wide open. Double kill. She will be grabbing Lalruati with the heal, going in, trying to go for more. But the base is gonna be hit upon by the minions. Pink Lemonade with the victory.
That was a beautiful game coming up from both of these teams. We did get to witness such a thrilling, such an exciting game here. Both of these teams, they
Whoa.
tried their best till the very end. But I do have to say, hands off to Lalwati. She was the main carry of the game. She carried the game so well with the Bane. And man, the burst coming up from Lalruati alone, it's just way too much to deal. Just the heal, from her second skill alone, it's it's
Yeah.
just doing half of the HP, which is so absurd.
You know what? It's this is the reason why, you kind of don't want to open the Bane if you don't have the way to try to pick up the assassins again. And I don't think Kenny was able to do anything in that scenario as well because he was getting melted down. Deadly Cats was there, one hit and they spit and she's down. And Lil Ruati, man, look at the damage she's been dealing. 42%. That is something you don't really see under the gold list side, even though you are kind of solo carrying. But the first phases of the game was actually very awkward for Pink Lemonade, but the next time they did make it work. But then came the last part, Laldrati with the passive play came in handy. She have all the gold that she acquired. She have the damage that she needed. She have the items that she wanted, and when all of those were onto her hands, whatever aggression Pink Lemonade was throwing onto the table, it came with a price, and they are the one actually grabbing those rewards.
Indeed, Debbie, I highly agree with you. And man, that was one heck of a game. But yeah, there are still 2 more matches left. And before those two, we are before we start those two games, we're just gonna take a short break. And I feel like this time around, it's gonna be another caster who's gonna be joining me. It's gonna be Itami this time around, and the upcoming game, it's gonna be between Megami Novastras versus Deona Guys. So this is gonna be a
Oh,
really, really interesting game as well. And me and Debbie, we've already casted for Deona Guys as well, and we really,
yeah.
really enjoyed their game as well. So this time around, I am pretty excited to see how Deona Guys are going to perform tonight. But yeah, for now, it is just going to be me and Debbie on the Casters Dels who's going to be signing off. See you guys in a bit.
Carved in blood and bone, my power is undying. Blessed, cursed? What difference does it make? I walk a path few would dare follow. I am the harbinger of bone.
We are the aspirants.
Carved in blood and bone, my power is undying. Blessed, cursed? What difference does it make? I walk a path few would dare follow. I am the harbinger of bone.
We are the aspirants.
blood and bone, my power is undying. Blessed, cursed? What difference does it make? I walk a path few would dare follow. I am the harbinger of bone.
We are the aspirants.
Carved in blood and bone, my power is undying. Blessed, cursed? What difference does it make? I walk a path few would dare follow. I am the harbinger of bone.
We are the aspirants.
Welcome back everyone to Queen's Legacy series brought to you by Wardrum Games. So here we are on to the final match for the day, and it is going to be between Team Megami Novastras taking on Team Deona Guys. So this is going to be a best of one series. Once again, this time I'll be your caster Itami joining in newly, and Wands has already been here. So still I'm gonna give him the introduction that he deserves. Wands will be sharing the casting decks with me, and here we are once for the final game of the night.
Yeah, this is this is the final game for tonight. Unfortunately, there was supposed to be one more game after this, but that is not gonna happen. So this is the final game for tonight. And Itami, look at the draft coming up from the side of Megami Navastras. Already, they have witnessed the Bane, the potential of the Bane in the previous game. So this time around, if they're not gonna play it, they're just gonna ban it. Because
Yeah.
last game, Lal Rawati on that Bane, she was she was, she was on a blood bat with the Bane. She was just killing left and right, through and fro with the Bane. So I feel like, Megami and Navastras, they were kind of watching the game in the stream, maybe. So because of that, they are banning away the Bane. But yeah, look at that. The Bane follow up by the Irithel, and from this side of Deona Guys, it is a Lancelot ban as well as a Grok. So I'd say that, these two teams, they are coming up with such a solid ban, solid first phase of the draft. It's gonna be so good.
Definitely. And for Megami, like you already said, the Bane ban, Bane has mostly been onto the priority in terms of banning as well as picking. You can even go out with the first pick Bane as well. And one of the main points for for the Bane is he is quite flexible when it comes to the roles. You can play him onto the EXP, even onto the mid lane, and even onto the jungle. So quite a flexible hero. So he is just getting banned out, and that the shark waves as well as the spit heaters, it is going to be dishing out a lot of damage, one shot kind of potential the guy has. So it is obvious like why Bane has been such a priority ban. So Irithel as well as the CC is also understandable in my opinion, because these two are also quite valid. And for the side of team Deona Guys as well, they are quite updated with the meta in my opinion.
Indeed. Yeah, they are quite, updated with the meta. But yeah, for now, it's gonna be the first pick, which is gonna go to the side of Megami. And Megami, they are actually taking their time. They're deciding what they should go for the first pick. I feel like, the first pick, mage would be a very, very, safe pick if they want to go for the mage. It's still fine because, if you show your jungle card, your Roma card, or your EXP card way too early, it will definitely impact the game, the way you play. And
Oh,
man, look at this. Another Angela first pick coming up from Megami. Earlier, prior to previous game, we did see another Angela, and that turned out quite well. Not in the early game, the mid and late game was quite well because of the Angela. But yeah, this time around, another Angela on board onto the side of Megami. So I feel like, there is definitely gonna be some kind of a utility jungle or a fighter jungle which will complement this Angela.
yeah, could be an assassin like the Lancelot is banned now. So maybe, in my wild prediction, a link could also be possible, but it is kind of a rare case we see a link combined with an Angela, because when she is combined with a utility kind of a jungler, that is when she is able to be utilized onto the full potential, in my opinion, because it is
Mhm.
just the healings as well as the slowdowns that the Angela is going to be providing. But Dekona guys, they will be responding with a Minotaur as well as a Vexana. So strong crowd control has already been, quite favorable for this side. And Megami Navastras, I think they will be trying to prioritize maybe a mid laner, because Angela here, I think she has the potential to be a viable mid laner as well if you have a strong frontliner. So you can be going out with a mid lane Angela too. She is more of a flex pick, but mostly she is prioritized onto the room. So I think Novastras, they will be prioritizing the jungler, but wait a minute, okay, the Kagura as well as the Lapu has been picked out. So Lapu, he is quite a nuisance, but the thing is, EXP has already been prioritized, and Dekona guys can actually respond with an Esmeralda EXP in order to be a good match. Fixed, and here we are. Sorry for the disruptions, ladies and gentlemen. We are here back on to the drafting phase, of course. There was some kind of technical difficulties, but still, here we are once again on to the drafting phase, like I've already said. And looks like the second banding phase has already begun. And, we missed out onto the EXP pick, and it is going to be apparently a glue. They played it out quite smart. They waited for the mid laner to be picked out for the side of Team Megami Novastras. The Kagura is picked out, the burst is there. But a Faramis could have been a good answer. The Vexana could have been a good answer, but Deona guys, they picked it out for their side and prioritized the glue. So most probably onto my case, unless a Xborg jungle comes up, the glue is going to be quite a nuisance once.
Indeed, definitely, because the glue is such a good pick here. They waited out, for the glue. They did not rush for them to pick the glue. They waited out for, Megami to pick out their heroes. After they picked the Kagura, they went for the glue pick, which is really smart. Now that, you have seen the mid lane card, there's not going to be any possible Faramis because the role and the mid has already been picked. So you can't really count the glue now. But yeah, talking about the glue, I feel like there is a very high possibility that we are gonna see a Xbox jungle because the Xbox counters tanks really well, and considering the fact that they already have two tanks onto their side from Deona Guys, which is the Mino and that glue. So yeah, Itami, I do you know, feel that there might be an Xbox as
Oh, wow. Sorry for disrupting you once, but I was not expecting a Suyo jungle, to be honest, because after the nerfs, Suyo as well as Lucas, they have been kind of forgotten in my opinion. I haven't seen the Suyo as well as the Lucas onto the competitive scene at least, as well as onto the ranks. It is a very rare case, kind of a scenario a Suyo is prioritized onto here, because mostly it is the defense as well as the early game damage that the Suyo had has been quite decreased. So he has
indeed.
been out of the meta, but it all depends upon how the user will be utilizing the hero. In my opinion, Megami Novastras, they have more comfort kind of a draft, and Team Decona guys, they are reliant onto the meta and how comfortable they are with the heroes. I think the Suyo pick could be one of the comforts too.
Yeah, I mean the Kuyo pick, it's quite risky considering the fact that there's so many mobile heroes onto the side of Megami Novastras because the Kagura is definitely not gonna be easy to catch with the Suyo because she just has way too much mobility with the umbrella, as well as for the Lapu Lapu, way too tanky, and the crowd control immunity as well. But what is going on with Megami? They're going for a Akai jungle, which is definitely utility jungle. I feel like they're anticipating this time jungle to actually be able to disrupt this Minotaur and the glue. But I'm not really sure how this Akai is gonna work here because you definitely need that early game burst that an assassin, a fighter provides to kill off these mid laners, the goal laners, as well as the junglers in most cases. But yeah, they will definitely lack that damage because they have picked the high jungle here.
Yeah. And I think most probably, the Brody is also there. So Brody could be the main damage source for the side of Team Megami Novastras. And the other thing is, the Brody as well as the Kagura actually. If the Kagura is able to get the burst, then Kagura pick is definitely going to be working. But the thing is, the early game, they are not that reliant onto the early game. Brody, I think after some adjustments, he shines mostly onto right from the start. Also, he can also shine, but still, they are for the side of Team Dekona guys, they have the heals as well, and against a Minotaur, Brody doesn't go out
5
quite
seconds
well.
till the
So it's
enemy
all
reaches
onto
the
the execution.
battlefield.
This is going to be
Smash them.
the final match for the night, and it will be between
Ultimates
Team Megami
deployed.
Novastras taking on Team Dekona guys.
Indeed, and for now they're just gonna farm up and hit that level 4 as soon as possible so they can look for initiation and for ganks. And considering the fact that they're Suyu, they don't even have to wait for the level 4. Level 3 is gonna be enough to give him the kit that he can use to burst out and gank into the lanes. But yeah, Talking about Megami Navastras, they are a bit mid-game reliant in my opinion because the Brody, the Kagura, they do need a item or two to actually dish out damage. And yeah, look at this, just
Oh,
right off the early game, and
oh,
so much gang coming up from the side of Navastras, and the resource already being spent, which is the flicker. So that is huge. So if she gets caught up in a position where she can't really get out, it's gonna be very tough without the flicker.
yeah, definitely. And the resource Ixia could have been using out the flicker in order to initiate the team fight as well. When it comes to using the flicker combination with the full barrage, so she could have been
Indeed.
doing out the thing as well. But for now, it has been delayed, and they are trying to play as safe as possible. But I do think when it comes to the lane, Brody will be having quite a bit of an advantage compared to the Ixia, because the lane clearing advantage is definitely with him, and she will be requiring the help of a Minotaur. But even if the Minotaur will be trying to assist him out, I think they will be kind of missing out when it comes to taking out the resources.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, it's time to look at this. We are already heading towards the first turtle of the game. It is spawning in about 1 second here. And look at the Akai already, you know, positioning herself onto the top side and, farming up into the enemy territory.
Already. And the turtle already being spawned as well. Both of the teams, they are taking their time in order to contest it out. There might be a team fight coming up. Kai is already level 5 and he might be forced out to use out the heavy spin. There is the team fight as well as the blue using the stick, and he requires stick onto the Akai, trying to dish out some damage, but still there is the CC immune as well. As for the side of team Deona Guys, they are quite low onto the HP. First blood is yet to be drawn, and I think the Minotaur heals will be coming up quite handy. But the thing is, Telly is quite low, so she might most probably not contest for the turtle, but instead they might just go out for the kills. But still, they are trying to contest it out. Maybe Wingling will be trying to make out a clutch pretty recently.
Ooh, I don't feel like, there can be any clutch here because he's just way too on
Oh,
the edge. Yeah, look at that. Ooh.
there is the Terrify as well, and the first blood on to King Ling. That is going to be quite of a trade, actually. The turtle as well as the jungler falling down for the side, and there is a solo kill onto the bot side, an off-cam kill as well. Ixia able to take down the Brody, and that will be providing her a lot of gold.
Yeah, that is definitely gonna provide her a lot of gold. But Itami, talking about a Megami here, I feel like they should not instigate any fight this time around because they do not have that damage that I was talking about. That will be able to take down, members from the side of the Icona guys here because they are lacking that early game damage, early game burst. So they have to wait out and just farm for now and look for the late game because I feel like the late game is where the Brody will be able to carry this. Oh my god, just look at the barrage and that beautiful Minoan Fury.
Yeah, I completely forgot about the fact that Team Dekona Guys, they have a team fight reliant kind of a draft. Even if Team Megami Novastras, they have the draft which could shine individually. Lapu 1v5 kind of a situation done. Akai can come up with the retribution plays, but the thing is, Team Megami Novastras, instead of them, Dekona Guys, they are completely reliant onto the teamwork. And if the teamwork works, it is going to be doing out the dream work.
Indeed, teamworks make the dream work, and this is what we're gonna see from the side of Dekona guys. But I feel like the Dekona guys are on a big advantage right now because they're putting so much lane pressure. Look at the bot lane, the Brody not able to just defend out that turret. And look at that. Oh, the Minotaur, just being there in the bush trying to catch someone off guard. But never mind, it's just going to be a vision providing for now. And look at this. Third turtle of the game already. I mean, the second turtle of the game already spawning up. And it is going to be none other than the guys who will be prioritizing it without getting any contest from the
Red
side
team
of
turret has been
Megami.
destroyed.
Yeah, execution wise, they are quite doing out quite well. And I think, the Suyo pick is also, when it comes to taking out the objectives, it's not just the damage, but, get the objectives as well as the turtle. That is going to be one of the things. If you have a decent type of damage dealer for the side of your team. So Suyo might actually work out onto this lineup. You never know until it actually goes out onto the late game. But for the late game, they do have the Ixia as well as the Minotaur with the heals and the glue. Once he gets his core items, he is going to be even more defensive.
Indeed, yeah. I mean, talking about the glue, I feel like the glue here is gonna shine so well because there's no proper counter for the glue, and you can't really
Blue
burst
team's
out the
turret has
glue
been destroyed.
with heroes who are skill reliant, especially the Lapu, the Kagura, because these heroes can easily be countered with items like anti-grass, twilight armor, Athena shield, and so on. So you need DPS that can actually chunk down the HP, and that is what they're lacking. Even the Brody, when it comes to DPS, he's more reliant on a burst build rather than attack speed, so that is what they're gonna lack here.
Yeah, and the thing is, slowly but surely, Deona Guys, they are extending the goal lead more onto the pack, and even if a team fight comes up, and there comes the team fight, most probably the Terrify as well as the Morning Fury being done onto the Akai. Somehow he was able to tank the damage thanks to the Angela. Brody is yet to use out his torn apart memory, and I don't think they will be having enough damage to initiate onto the team fight for the side of Team Megami. They just decided to go back, and looks like Team Dekona Guys, they will be able to secure the third objective too, unless the Akai decides to commit and pulls up with a clutch retribution play.
Oh yeah, definitely. And look at this third turtle already spawning right up. I feel like it is gonna be another uncontested turtle because the lead that they have right now, it is so high. Oh my my! Look at the
Oh,
Brody
Red
and the
team's
Angela
inhibitor has been
overextending
slain.
there.
yep, he just gets bursted down, but he will be able to find a trade at least onto the Ixchia. But I don't think that is a win-win kind of a situation. But still, they because for the side of Team Dekona Guys, they will be able to secure the turtle quite easily because Akai is no way onto the position onto the
He has
contesting
slain
onto
the
the turtle.
turtle.
So that is going to be the third objective, and this time it will be the Lord coming up onto the next 2 minutes. So Megami Novastras, if they still want the chance onto this series, onto this game, and onto this tournament, they need to pull up something onto the next 2 minutes.
Indeed, they definitely gotta put up something that can put them on the advantageous side. But I feel like there's not much they can do right now because if you take a look at the items here, look at the itemization, the Akai with a first item as the curse helmet, but I'm not really sure why the winter crown is not gonna give you much value. It's just gonna freeze you in one place, and you're gonna use it when you have the heavy spin. But the heavy spin, I'm not really sure how much of a value it can get you for now. This is oh my god, just look at them invading out their jungle, denying them of the even their own
Blue
jungle.
team turret has been
Yeah, Akai
destroyed.
is trying to use out the slowdowns as well, and there comes the bravest fighter. But the initiation will be coming up for the side of Team Dekona Guys, and there is the team fight. They actually did want it, and it will be a 2 for 0 trade. Might actually be a 3 as well. They are just doing the tower divings, and that will be another kill for the Ixia. A 3 for 0, and looks like Team Dekona Guys, they have got the momentum.
Yeah, they definitely have the momentum, and I really love the previous team fight that they did. That was such a good execution of the macro, and the fact that they're oh my god, look at the third dive coming up from the side of Dekuna guys. They are so aggressive, they are so passive, and they know that they can easily win even if they force out. They're putting Megami on a
Oh,
chokehold.
Turret
Yuvraj,
has been destroyed.
once again the full barrage was there, but still I think in order to make the full barrage completely work onto the full potential, Minotaur would be using out the Monian Fury. That will be giving out a crowd control, and once Ixia will be using the full barrage, I think then she will be able to get the job done. But for now, the lot has already been spawned, and looks like it will be an uncontested lot for the side of Team Dekona Guys. No contentions by far, and another thing, it's only the inhibitor towers remaining.
Red team has
Yep,
slain the
only the
dragon.
inhibitors are standing from the side of Megami Novastras, and they're just facing too much pressure. Look at this, just a single buff. Also, they can't really get their hands on a buff, and they're being denied of so much farm, and there is just so much lane pressure all around the map, and they can't really overextend at this point because the map is open too much. That they can just they only have to stay in the base at this time around.
Yeah, definitely. And the Lord will be spawning anytime soon, but there is a pause coming around from one of the teams. So I think there are some technical issues going around. It will be fixed anytime soon. But by far, watching at the game, like watching the game as well as casting it, the Kona guys are having the momentum, and that will be the Lord spawning. So if the lane syncing as well as the initiation is up to point, they might be able to end this game. But if they mess up if they have the miscommunications, then maybe Team Megami Novastras might come up, reverse kind of a wipeout, and they might be able to hold the game for a bit more longer time.
Indeed. I feel like the only breather that, Megami Novastras they can get here is if they get a wipeout onto the side of Deona Guys, because Deona Guys, their lead that they've built, it's just too absurd. And to catch up with that, they definitely need to get a wipeout on Deona Guys. But I feel like that is gonna be one in a million chance for Megami, because they don't have the damage right now. The only damage they have, I'd say, is the Brody, and even the Lapu Lapu. Being a fighter, has to be on the front. And if you go on the front, the Kona guys are just gonna burst you down with their burst damage, because they have the items, they have the high, level advantage as well, and they just have a better team fighter composition of alignment.
Yeah, and another thing for the side of Team Megami, like I've already said, their draft is more kind of individually signing instead of the teamwork kind of a draft. So they are kind of like, not even kind of, they are over 10k goal behind. So this is going to be quite tough of a defense. But if Team Dekona guys, they actually overextend onto any team fights, then the comeback might be a bit more extended, let's say.
Indeed, the team fights are gonna be extending a lot. But yeah, this time around, I feel like Megami, Novastras, they're gonna have a hard time coming back. But yeah, the pause is just gonna continue, and we're just gonna wait out till the issue is resolved. So bear with us, guys, in the chat. Do not freak out. Like, why is there such a long pause? There's definitely a bit of an issue coming up, with the players. So they're just gonna be fixing that, working onto that, and they will be back after they have fixed their connection issues. But yeah, on the casted desk, it is me and Itami, and yeah, you guys can just predict like what kind of thing they can do, Megami and Vastras, that can help them win this match, because this time around they are caught up in such a tight spot where the chances of a comeback are very slim, but it's not zero. So they might be able to do something that can make them win this game. I am reading the charts a bit, and I do see that, a lot of you guys are calling the Vixana Lancelot. And no wonder, she's so good. I feel like she's the Lancelot in disguise as well. But yeah, talking about the Vixana, the Vixana as a mage, she is such a good mage because she has so much crowd control, so much burst, and the fact that she is a hero that can summon an eternal god is so absurd. But there, we are back into the game, and it seems like there is a lord that has been taken down by Dekona guys, and it is going to be marching towards the bot side. There is a Brody trying to defend it off, and there is a Suyo trying to catch that guy off. But yeah, there's just going to be okay. Oh my, what is going on? I do see that, there's a bit of a issue coming up from our end as well, and we will be working on it right now, and we'll be back anytime soon. But for now, it's just gonna be me and Itami. We are gonna be a bit silent for a while, and we're gonna be back when the game starts.
Yeah. The issue most probably should be fixed anytime soon from our side as well. We apologize for that, but we will be back as soon as it is resolved. So we will try interacting with the chats as well till then. And like I would like to remind you, like this is going to be the final game for the night, and it is the lower bracket most probably, right ones? Are you there? Yeah, looks like ones is taking a water break, short water break. So this is going to be the lower brackets most probably, and I think the issue should be resolved as soon as possible.
And I am back. Yeah, I was just taking a sip of water, so I was not talking. But yep, definitely I'm back, and me and Nitami are so on right now. Really? Okay.
All right.
It seems like we got a little bit of a intel regarding the game, and I would like Itami to disclose it.
Yep, and most probably, like from the intel we heard, it is Team Deona Guys who were victorious, and there were some technical issues from our side. So Team Deona Guys have won the game, and that will be it for today. We will be closing it off for the day, and tomorrow we will be back with more matches. Till then, stay tuned and good night, everyone.
Carved in blood and bone, my power is undying. Blessed, cursed? What difference does it make? I walk a path few would dare follow. I am the harbinger of bone.